Good evening, everyone. Uh, I welcome you to our Sunday live. I hope you all are staying safe. We are entering the phase 5 of the lockdown. Now, the restrictions are getting lifted up. A lot of movement has started on the road, but still, it is important that we be responsible. We are following social distancing, we are using sanitizers, and we are taking care of ourselves and all around us. Uh, in this lockdown, we have surely become more aware of how to stay, like how to sanitize yourself and how to keep your immunity intact, and how to keep yourself healthy and fit. Uh, w- w- Today, we are going to discuss a very important aspect of keeping yourself healthy. That's our mental health, a topic that is not discussed very openly in our society. So today we're going to so today we are going to discuss about anxiety and how to manage anxiety during this lockdown. To do that, we have a very awesome speaker today with us, Dr. Pratisha Saxena. She is an MBBS graduate. She is doing her psychiatry residency right now, making mental health a priority and ending the stigma around it is what interests her, especially around depression and anxiety. So let's welcome our speaker for today, Dr.
Hi,
Hi, Dr. Pratisha.
hi,
How are
Saurabh.
you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very, very good. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining us today.
thank you
It's
so
a
much for
really
having me.
interesting topic for all of us, even for me, because we don't really talk much about mental health and all the issues around it. So me and all
Exactly.
our viewers are very excited to know about this, and let's hope to make more people aware about what anxiety is.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's start with the basic question: ki what exactly is anxiety?
Anxiety is actually pretty very normal thing. So
Okay.
everybody of us has anxiety. So
Hmm.
basically, if we go by the definition of anxiety, it is basically a phenomenon which revolves around too much of anticipation and apprehension. But again, it's a normal thing. So if we have it in normal limits, so it basically motivates us to act better or to do a little more, put more and more efforts in your whatever things you're doing. But of course,
Right.
whenever we get it in access, whenever that happens, so it's going to be a little bit problematic. So it's very important. Anxiety is nothing but you getting the butterflies in your stomach,
Right.
or
Right.
if you're sweating too much, if you're having
Hmm.
palpitations, if you're
Hmm. Hmm.
overthinking, if you're not able to sleep because of a constant thought in your head. So that is anxiety. It's a
Right.
very,
So basically,
yeah,
anxiety is something that all of us experience at some point in our life. But
exactly,
when
exactly.
when does anxiety become a problem?
See, anxiety becomes a problem when it is hampering your normal productivity. Like you're
Okay.
not able
Okay.
to work properly, you're not able to
Hmm.
complete your tasks on time, you're not able to
Right.
sleep, you're overeating, or you're not eating properly, or
Hmm.
you are just wasting your time thinking about something from the past or something about in the future. So that is when it basically becomes a problem to us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do I know that I'm suffering from anxiety? Are there any signs, symptoms of it?
Yes, there are physical signs of anxiety. The
Hmm.
number one is palpitation. And people are
Okay.
actually
Okay.
very scared of it. People think that they have some heart problem, but it's nothing like that. They are just simply that you know that your heart is beating. So that's palpitations for you. Then sweating, again a very common thing. Then butterflies in your stomach, or then insomnia,
Right.
overthinking,
Right.
obsessing about
Right.
some, obsessing about anything in the past. So these are the common things of anxiety.
Okay. So these are the symptoms of your
Very common symptoms of anxiety.
right. Okay. Okay. Very good. During this lockdown, because people have been into isolation, they don't really have a lot of physical connect these days. Does this lockdown affect people suffering from anxiety?
Absolutely, it does, because um, usually people with anxiety have a problem to connect with people. They're very
Okay.
anxious sometimes, they might have social phobia, social anxiety. But it has been seen in these days and in history as well that when such pandemics or such things happen around the world, when the entire world or a very big crowd is in a problem, So the people who are already diagnosed with anxiety, they actually, they can relate with other people as well, like the normal
Right.
people who don't have too
Right.
much anxiety, and they actually get better somehow. And the normal people who had no problems before, they start having the anxiety. So the
Okay.
anxious people, they start relating to it, and they're like, see, everybody is going through some problem. I'm not the only one. I'm not the special one here, and
Right.
everybody is going through it. So they actually are able to cope up very well. But these new
Right.
people who are facing the anxiety for the first time, they don't understand now what to do. What is this feeling? I mean, I don't understand. Why
True.
am I feeling this way? Because the impending doom, it's also a very common thing in anxiety. That is nothing but you feel as if something bad is going to happen to you. There is
Right.
nothing bad, but you feel it. So, normal people getting anxious, very, very anxious. They get very scared. I'm just going to die maybe. Or something is bad going to happen.
Right.
And during this lockdown, because the basic factor being money issues, people are losing
True.
jobs, people not able to go to their jobs, or people who had given their exams are waiting for the results. So again,
Right.
students are under pressure. People who are waiting for their admissions are under pressure. People had started their small businesses are in loss. Major businesses, big businesses are in loss. So basically, everybody is under some kind of a pressure right now, and
True.
everybody is facing this thing.
Right.
So yeah, that is
Okay.
one thing of lockdown. Yeah.
So basically, lockdown is going to affect a lot of people, but it's a good thing that people who are already suffering from this, they have the feeling of like everybody is sailing in the
Yes,
same
yes.
boat.
But
Okay.
that proportion actually is very low,
Right. Right.
compared to the population that we have.
True.
But yeah, that is pros and the cons of the situation.
True. True. So what all things provoke anxiety?
What are things provoke anxiety? Any situation when you're in and you are not certain about the result, or you don't have control over the result, or
Hmm.
you don't know what is, I mean, exactly the uncertainty part, it is going to
Right.
provoke anxiety. And the one thing which has been seen over the years is that people who worry a lot are going to
Hmm.
have anxiety in their life. So there's a misconception around anxiety and the worry part.
Hmm.
People assume this, that by worrying you're actually effectively solving a problem, but
True.
it is a misconception, it is an illusion that we have, that because I'm worrying about something here, I'm worried about what is going to happen in my future, when I'm going to give my exams, I don't know what is going to happen. So I feel that by worrying about it, I'm actually solving the problem, but it's
Right.
nothing like that at all. And it has been seen a lot that in relationships, if one person is very calm, we'll see what will happen. So the other person is like, how can you not worry about it? But
Right.
that you're actually doing nothing by worrying about it. You're wasting your time, and
True.
no worry has ever given a proper result, unless and
Right.
until you're calm and you're sitting quietly somewhere, and then you are thinking, logically thinking, what is going to, what will help me in this situation? You won't get your result.
Right.
So we need to understand the misconception about the worry part, and we should stop ourselves from doing the worrying part a lot.
Right.
Rather than thinking about some solving the problem in our heads, we should not do it. So that basically then eventually leads to anxiety.
True. So basically, worrying too much about anything,
Anything, yeah.
overthinking about things is what provokes anxiety.
Exactly, like a mother will worry about her son. Oh my God,
True.
it's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. He's not home yet. Nothing has happened to the kid. But now
True.
she's like fretting in the house, sweating, calling everybody, calling his friends, calling all the people she knows and he knows. There was nothing to worry about. I was just like standing in front of the gate talking to a friend over there.
True.
So nothing good came out of it.
I guess all of us can relate to that fact that a lot of times it's just that we make so much out of a small situation which is not really required. So true,
Exactly.
worrying a lot is a waste of time. That is true. So before we go into management, like how to manage this anxiety, can you elaborate a bit more about why it is important? to manage anxiety?
Okay. See, anxiety is basically the most common symptom of any mental disorder, be it depression, schizophrenia, psychosis, or any other organic problem. That means that
Right.
any organ problem, be it a heart problem, a liver problem,
Hmm.
endocrine problem, anything, and being under stress and having anxiety is like a very common thing, and it
Right.
actually does really very bad things to our blood pressures, to our sugar insulin system, and of course to our brain. So
Right.
it is very important that we should address anxiety at the first time itself, because it can lead to very disastrous problems in our body. And in
Okay.
psychiatry, the most common being depression, because every depressed person has a history of anxiety or too much worry. They'll tell
Right.
you, ki, I worry a lot. I think about many things a lot. I cannot get it out of my head. So
Right.
that is a very common phrase any depressed person is going to use. So we need to
Right.
address this, because if we do it in time, you can save yourself from many other physical problems of it,
Right.
because the feeling of anxiety is really bad. If you're having the jitters, if you're having the palpitations, and you cannot sleep because of the palpitations many times in the night, and if you cannot
Right.
sleep, then you cannot work the next day, and then the cycle keeps going on.
Right.
So, uh, addressing anxiety in the first stage is going to be very beneficial.
True. That was a very helpful piece of information. Like all of us we very casually say that no, I'm feeling very anxious. I suffer from anxiety. But this is very important to know that it just a start. If you don't address it, if you don't take precaution and start managing it, it might develop into something much worse. Like you
Exactly,
said, it is a
exactly,
precursor or a primary symptom of a lot of other mental illnesses. So
exactly.
it's important for anybody who's suffering from anxiety to start taking it seriously and take steps or
Yes,
precautions for it.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
very helpful piece of information. What measures can a person take to manage anxiety?
First of all, we should learn how to not to worry, which is, I think, which we cannot do. I mean,
True,
if we
true,
think about it like that, we have been inculcated with the values of worrying. Our mother worries,
true.
our father worries, our relatives worry all the time about our well-being. But of course, we cannot stop doing it, because completely, if we get it out of our heads that we cannot worry, so that person is going to be called an aloof. Again, you'll term that person into a mental patient. But
True.
we should understand when to worry and when not to worry, when to give
Right.
something more time and when to not give that time. So, in therapy, we use a very nice technique for the coping mechanisms of this. Is that we tell the patient to give a particular time period of the day. He set a
Hmm.
timetable. Okay? For
Right.
example, I'll worry around 1 o'clock every day.
Okay.
1 to
Okay.
1:30, I'm going to worry. Okay. So right now, if it's 8 a.m. and I start, thinking about what had happened in my past, what I'm going to do about in the future, if it thing repeats again, what I'm going to do then. So I'll tell myself, okay, wait, you're doing it again. We'll think
Right.
about it as 1 o'clock, because we have given it a time. And you can also note it down to worry. So now you have noted down all your worries. That means that you are journaling your worries. Okay,
Right.
it's in front of your eyes. When it's in front of our eyes, it basically gives us more logical sense. Is it really logical to worry about this thing?
True. True.
And then you are giving it a time to worry, and you're also contemplating. And then the most important thing is that you are actually putting the energy into a good work, that you're basically doing your work first,
Right.
and then you are worrying about whatever things you have in your head.
Right.
So that is very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. Then one more thing that we can do is that we can tell the worry whenever the worry is coming to us. So people say ki, tell yourself to stop it. Okay,
Right.
stop worrying, stop worrying. And if you try doing that, you're actually thinking about the worry and you're trying to tell it to stop. It's not
Right.
going to help us like that. So instead of it, you can try to tell yourself that you're doing it again.
Hmm. Hmm.
you are doing it again. So, it shifts our attention to
Right.
something different.
True.
So, that can be a very good uh, coping mechanism.
All right.
Yeah.
And are there like any medications or anything like that that can be used for anxiety?
Yes, but these medications are prescription medications.
Right, right.
So, you cannot get them over the counter.
True.
So, you need to go
So what
to.
I wanted to ask is like when is the right time to seek professional help when you're suffering from anxiety?
See, whenever this anxiety is not making you sleep, if you're having insomnia and you're sleeping
Right,
during the day, or you have constant fatigue or lethargy, you're either gaining weight or you're losing weight. Okay,
right,
then you're not able to eat properly or you're overeating. It is now getting into your personal, your routine work. You're not able to perform well at work, and you're not able to complete your projects on time because of the anxiety that you have. You might
right,
have palpitations, you might have tremors during this period as well. So when it is getting to a certain point that you're not able to live your life, you know,
right,
not, you just worry all the time. You just have anxiety all the time. So that is when you
right,
should immediately seek help. Otherwise, anxiety.
right, right,
You should exercise, you should meditate, you should
right,
journal
true.
it down. And something which I've seen helping people a lot is listening to affirmations. So you can either listen to them in the morning or in the
Okay,
evening.
okay.
Yeah, I mean at the night, sleeping time. And you can get
Hmm.
a lot of affirmations on YouTube. There are many videos. So these are the small steps that you can do it on your own if people are having the normal anxiety part. So
Right.
whenever it is actually,
Can
huh,
you explain a bit about what
hmm,
affirmations are like? I've heard this word for the first time. So what
okay,
affirmations is and what is it?
affirmations will start like, you know, I've seen a lot of affirmation videos. I keep listening to them all the time. So it
Right.
will go like, I am
Okay.
beautiful, I am enough,
Hmm. Hmm.
I am capable. Okay, the type of negative
Right.
self-talk that we do to ourselves, you are, how stupid can I be? That is negative
Right.
affirmation. Okay, so now you
Right.
are feeling that you're stupid, but if I tell myself
Right.
that I'm enough, I am intelligent, I am capable of doing this thing, so these are the
Right.
affirmations. So
Okay.
whenever you're going to give positive feedback to yourself again, so whenever that is happening, that is what the positive affirmations are.
Right. So
Hmm.
basically, keeping your mind positive, surrounding yourself with positive thoughts will also
Yes,
help
yes,
with managing anxiety. Okay,
yes.
very good. So I guess these were a very good piece of information on how to manage anxiety. I really like the idea of okay, let's dedicate half an hour of the day to just thinking. Whenever you're worrying, just say, no, I'm going to
Yes,
worry at 1 p.m. That's
exactly.
that's a very simple. I don't know how doable it is, and it might take some effort and some
Yes, yes,
practice to do so.
yes, it
But I
will.
guess once you manage it, is a very easy fix for it. True.
Absolutely.
Now what we're going to do is let's just take a few questions that we've been getting from our audience,
Okay, okay, okay.
and there will be a lot of questions because we rarely get access to a mental health specialist. So I guess you're
Okay.
going to get a lot of questions.
So,
Okay, so one question that we have is anxiety a precursor to depression?
yes, absolutely. It is a precursor. Who asked this question? Acha,
Oh,
Urvashi asked this question. Okay, so yes, it is a precursor to depression,
hmm,
because any depressed person is going. You, if you know any person who has been depressed, that person is going to worry. The person is
right,
having anxiety before they actually, step down into depression.
right,
And most of the times, depression and anxiety, they come together.
Right.
Depression, for most people, depression will come if they have some kind of a childhood trauma or
Right.
some really bad life experience which have left them really tormented.
Right.
So yes, it is a precursor of depression, and it needs to be dealt with as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
True. Then we have another question from Sujit. He's asking, what can anyone do to get off anxiety or get rid of anxiety instantly? Any tricks or tips for that?
Instantly. Okay. Start moving around. If you are sitting
Okay.
if you're in the house, just start moving around. I have anxiety. I have social anxiety. I have normal anxiety. Okay. But what I do is I start jumping, or I start dancing,
Okay.
or
Okay.
you just have to shift your attention to some other thing.
Hmm.
If you're having too much of anxiety, you're definitely going to have palpitations. That means
Right.
sometimes even your heartbeat can be it can be increased as well. So if you're exercising, again, ultimately it's going to increase your heartbeat. तो sync हो जाएगा. So your body and
Right.
brain is now confused. Either this is because of the anxiety or if it's because of the palpitation.
Interesting.
So you
Hmm.
can confuse your brain. You're
Right.
not having any anxiety. We're just exercising, man. You're completely fine. You're completely safe.
Okay.
One more thing that you can do is you can eat.
Okay.
Don't overeat, don't get fat, but
Huh.
you can eat a chewing gum, you can eat popcorns. Okay? As it has been seen that if you are eating something, that makes your brain feel that you are safe. You're in a safe environment. Because nobody
Right.
eats when they are scared or when they are, in front of an animal. When they are going, if the
True.
animal is going to
True.
pounce on them, you're not going to eat anything in front of him, right? So
True.
our brain thinks that we are safe. So either you can chew on a gum or eat anything which is not fattening.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah.
Very easy ways to manage it. I hope Sujit that Sujit has another question. Does medication help or have to opt for CBT?
CBT. Okay. See, this CBT and medication. CBT is a cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
Okay. So that we have for many causes. It's like you can
Right.
be anxious, you can be depressed, you can have any other problems that you have. But CBT can be helpful to people who are not responding to medication.
Right.
Or
Right.
medication can be to people who doesn't think that therapy works, because
Okay.
many people in at least in India, they don't really believe in therapy. They think
True.
talking won't be helpful, but it
Right.
is in CBT. It's not just talking. We're telling you the coping mechanisms. We are learning a new type of living in CBT,
Right.
and
Right.
how to be while anything happens.
Okay.
So it really depends on person to person, whatever suits him. There are many people who will be like, ma'am, you can just give me pills. I don't want to go to therapy. I don't have that time, or I don't have that money. Many
Right.
times this is the issue.
True.
So it can depend. In pills, it's like a very easy way to go off anxiety, and it's a very helpful way as well. So you can have CBT and your medications together, or you can be just given one thing. It completely
Okay.
depends on your type of diagnosis, because there are various type of anxieties, and so we have to work with the patient ki whatever the patient might feel better with.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We have one more question from Deep. What's the relation of anxiety with adrenaline?
Okay. See, as anxiety is a very common thing, so adrenaline will actually increase your levels of anxiety,
Right.
or not anxiety, but the rush feeling that you get because of the adrenaline.
Right.
So anxiety will, that time when you're having the adrenaline rush, we won't call it anxiety because you're feeling good. But if there's too
Right.
much adrenaline above the threshold of you getting excited about it, then that will
Right.
lead into anxiety. Then you won't really
Okay.
understand, because even when the adrenaline rush is there, you'll have palpitations. If you're like, you ride a motorcycle, whenever you're on it, your heart is beating really fast. But that's not
Right.
anxiety, you're enjoying it. But
True. True.
but if you fall down, there is adrenaline rush, and now you're scared. Ki,
Right.
am I okay? Is my bike okay? So that's when the adrenaline and anxiety both are there, but the threshold has been crossed already. of
Okay, understood.
giving it a good feeling.
Okay. We have one more question from this. So, is it hereditary?
Yes.
Hmm.
In some cases it is hereditary. Uh, in a twin study, it has been seen that these two twins were separated at birth. Okay,
Hmm.
and later they came to know that the family had a history of depression and anxiety. So this one
Right.
twin was kept at a very good house, very amazing parents, supportive parents, had a very amazing childhood. The child was very happy. He could do all the things that he wanted in his life, pursued his dreams and
Right.
everything. Now, this other guy was in a more the pathetic state possible. And this
Right.
guy had a severe anxiety and depression, and the other guy showed no symptoms at all. So it depends on your upbringing. It depends on how you cope up to fearful or problematic situations, and what your family, tells you. I mean, how
Right.
your parents have raised you. I'm not
Right.
blaming the parents here, but of course, parents can suffer. So parents don't know how to cope up with it, or you
Right.
might have some other environmental factors affecting it. So even if, like, if my mother had anxiety and I have anxiety, I wouldn't be like, you had anxiety, that's why I'm having it. But if I'm able
Right.
to cope up with it, if I'm having proper environment, so it will be much easier for me.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. We also getting a few questions. Two, three people have asked questions about panic attacks. So,
Huh.
is like panic attacks and anxiety similar, and how to manage panic attacks?
Okay. Panic attack is nothing but a 15-minute period of too much or severe anxiety.
Right. Right.
Okay, we feel during a panic attack that we are going to die. Ki this is the end of the world. We cannot be
Oh.
saved at all. Any person who has had panic attack could relate to this. That nothing. I mean, I just cannot do anything. I just want to run away. But when this
Right.
15 minutes pass, you'll be like, "Ki theek hai." The anxiety levels will go down eventually
Hmm.
over the hour, and then you'll feel better. So while the panic attack, again you'll have to, you start moving around. You have to tell yourself that you are in a safe place. If you're alone,
Right.
call a friend, call your parents, call your spouse, anybody that you can call, or go
Hmm.
outside and meet somebody,
Right.
or try yourself to go inside nature, go into a garden or near plants or something like that.
Right.
But nothing is going to help you, not even pills are going to help you in those 15 minutes. Because
Right.
the mode of action, the time required for the pill to actually start working is at least minimum an hour. So
Right.
this 15-minute period will go away. Your anxiety
Right.
levels will be still high, but you won't be
Hmm.
having
Hmm.
an attack. Matlab, you'll be like, fine, okay, I can still breathe. So you
Right.
just have to tell yourself to be that you're safe, to breathe, move around, do something, drink a glass of water, and just try and shift your attention. So
Okay.
eventually it will
Understood.
go down.
Okay. All right. We have another question. Is what is the difference between anxiety and overthinking? Are they the same, or is there any difference?
Yes, there is a difference between overthinking and anxiety.
Huh.
Overthinking is basically when you're obsessing about a thought. There
Right.
is a constant thought either from the past or from the present, or you're just comparing the past and the present. कि past में ऐसा हुआ
Right.
था, so future में भी ऐसा होगा, right?
Right.
So that is overthinking. You are
Hmm.
just thinking about something a lot. Ki, if my loan will be sanctioned, if I will pass an exam, if I'll get married, if I'll get that job, or will I get corona? So that is overthinking. But when
Hmm.
it is showing you the physical symptoms of anxiety, when that overthinking is not letting you sleep at night, that means
Right.
that you're anxious.
Right. Right.
So that is the difference, or that is the similarity between overthinking and anxiety.
Understood. We have one more question. How to control your thoughts when, how do I control my thoughts when we are alone?
When you are alone, first of all, what helps me, I'll tell you, that is journaling.
Okay. Okay.
Whenever I have illogical thoughts that I feel are illogical, I write them down and then I read it. I'll read it after like an hour or so. And I'll be like, seriously, this is the problem that I was obsessing over. It doesn't
Right.
help me all the time, but it does help me a lot of time. Then you should just try and contemplate about why you are thinking over that stuff so much. What is the logical reason behind it? The logic, if you actually go to the logic part or to being practical about it.
Right.
Okay, fine. Just think of it as you are right now in the scenario. For example, if I'm thinking about my spouse and I'm thinking about something which happened yesterday, so I can just make him, in my imagination, sit right next to me. And then I'll talk to one on one to him. It's not something that crazy people do. You should talk to yourself to clear
True.
your
True.
head, to clear your mind of whatever things are going inside your head. So you can do the one on one thing. He just feel that you are right now in the present situation and what will you do then. This is the time to decide. ठीक है अभी ना after 10 minutes you cannot decide and past तो has already gone. So
Right.
अभी क्या करना है, now what can you do, that can help. um, Others, I think this is one of the most helpful things. And then those the same thing, exercise. When during this lockdown, I've also had a lot of anxiety or panic attacks kind of situations. So the best thing for me used to be either cooking or exercising.
Okay.
So exercising basically just increases. So I mean, your body temperature is increased. You are sweating. Your mind then basically tells you that you're doing something good for your body.
True.
So
True.
it starts feeling better. If you're procrastinating and you're doing something a little bit productive, you can make your bed. That is
Very, very
such a
simple and
therapeutic,
very true.
yeah, very therapeutic thing. It's like, yeah, you made your bed and that's it. So that can be also helpful.
And I guess your tip about like having that conversation, that argument with an imaginary person, I can this tip can be used to end all of world problems, not just anxiety.
Yes,
So just rather than having a heated argument and just going to and fro, just have that conversation in your head. That is very true.
exactly.
We have another question from Venu. From the childhood, we have been told to dream big, stay positive. You have huge potential, but sometimes you feel that you're not capable, and that leads to anxiety or depression. What to do in that? That is true. Like parental pressure, pressure of the society, these things do make a number on us. So how to deal with that?
First of all, you should be very clear of what you want to do. See,
Right,
I believe that if you actually dream and see your dream properly, you can achieve
right,
it. You can achieve whatever things you want to. I mean, there's no stopping you. Whatever you want to. If you want a Lamborghini, you can buy it. It's not a big deal.
right.
But yes, because of the societal pressure we're always under. And for example, men are under to earn and to maintain a family. Women are
True,
under to, have children and look after the house. But what if a girl doesn't want to have kids?
true.
So we are under that constant societal pressure. So what we can do is we just need to keep our facts clear, our goals clear, and just keep working towards it. And there is no right time or wrong time to do anything. People get married at 60, people get married at 18, people get divorced at 60, people live happily even if they had like a childhood marriage or something like that. So there's no
Right,
right time. You can be a billionaire at 40 or at 20. It's basically your life. And
true.
you can live it the way you want to. And
Very
one
true.
thing that we constantly do is we compare ourselves to other people. कि
Right,
इसका ऐसा हो गया, मेरा क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. That is like the worst thing that we can do. Your sibling can be like a multi-millionaire and you might be earning some thousand rupees here, but her life is completely different, your life is completely different.
true.
So stop comparing, keep your goals clear, and stay focused. I know it's
Perfect.
difficult, ये बोलने के लिए is very easy, but it's like a everyday process that you have to do. You'll have like making bed is an everyday thing, eating is an everyday thing, organizing your life and organizing your brain is also an everyday thing.
True,
So I
true.
think I hope that was helpful for that
Yeah,
question.
surely it was. I hope you got the answer that you were looking for. And let's take one last question. We have a question from Road Tripping Dog. How effective is petting dogs if you have anxiety?
It is blissful. Pet therapy is a real thing. It's
Right.
also in India nowadays. And petting dogs, petting cats, having any animal is just basically relieves your stress levels. There was this nurse, I don't remember her first name, some Nightingale. So she
Hmm.
had introduced this pet therapy, I think in 70s or 80s. So she
Okay.
used to keep ducklings or parrots or dogs or
Hmm.
cats
Hmm.
in the hospital setting, and she used to allow the patients or the children to play with these pets. So
Hmm.
that has been seen that there are increased level of oxytocin
Hmm.
when you're actually petting animals. Oxytocin
Right.
is a love hormone. It's a feel good hormone.
True.
So if that's releasing in your body, it's nothing like it then. It's the best thing that you can
So
take care of.
having a pet and taking care of a pet will surely help for people who
Exactly.
suffer from anxiety.
Absolutely.
True. There's one more very interesting question. How do you handle a person, like if your partner or a person that you know, person that you live with is suffering from anxiety? What care you should take so that you don't provoke anxiety, or how do you handle it?
Okay. See, if a person has anxiety and is an overthinker, so think that most of your problems are sorted. You know, the entire relationship thinking that person is doing for you. You don't have to worry. Then relationship is going to go very well because he's already or she has already thought about every process.
True.
But please read about anxiety.
Hmm.
Google it.
Hmm.
Know about what anxiety is. There,
True.
some people have these provoking words. For example, if I use a certain word, say mango, it can
Hmm.
provoke their anxiety.
Wow. Hmm.
Never, and if you know such a person who has these provoking words, never ask that person what are the words that provoke you. Never, because
Okay.
obviously, matlab, you are reminding of that person of that word.
True.
You are asking them to say it. Okay, this is the second thing. Then understanding the person as in which situation the person is getting anxious.
Right.
Okay, not anxiety doesn't mean that the person is going to be anxious all the time. It can be
Right.
certain things when the person is anxious. Like for example, if the person is worried about that the servicing needs to be done for a car, or flight tickets need to be booked, or exams are around the corner and the person is very anxious about giving those exams. So you need to just understand that okay, there's this solid reason why the person is anxious. Okay. And just let them, you know, rant about it or talk about it.
Right.
You can
Right.
just ask the person, ki, you know, what will make you feel better.
Right.
Do not ever try to solve their problem. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. Okay. You just need to do two things. Need to listen to them whatever they are saying, and you need to just ask them ki, what can I do to help you right now? Is there anything that I can do to make you feel better? If the person says no, go away, you know, just go and sit in some other room. Okay, the person will
All right.
chill and come back in a few minutes. But you know,
Right.
don't be like, you know, I cannot solve this problem. We cannot be in this relationship if I cannot solve the problem. You are not the counselor. You are not God. You are not his therapist. Okay, you don't need to solve the problem. Maybe there's no problem at all. The person is
Right.
anxious, has anxiety problems, and that's why he's anxious. Let him or her solve the problems, because the people with anxiety often feel that they are not capable of taking
Hmm.
care of themselves or taking care of
Right.
others for that matter. And if
Right.
you go and try and solve their problem, they'll be like, "Yaar, I am not even capable of taking care of this little thing, and he or she has to come and help me. What a loser am I?" So you're not
Right.
actually helping them, you're just pushing them more into the guilt of being anxious. So
Right.
just
I
listen.
guess that's a such a that's an such an interesting perspective, because otherwise our first thought as a human reflex is, if somebody is anxious about doing something, our first thing is just okay, I'll do it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the way you
I'll do it
explained it,
for
it
you.
makes sense that we should not. They have to figure it out on their own. I guess
Exactly.
we can be just a real life affirmation video telling them that yes, you can do it.
Yes.
All right, Pratisha, I guess it was a very informative session. And let me tell you, this is the maximum number of questions that we have received till date on our live
Okay, okay.
session.
That
So I
is
guess
good
we
to hear.
should do another live on another subject related to mental health because we really
Definitely.
want to promote this and we really want to make people aware about what mental health is and how you can take care of it. So we'll shortly plan
Absolutely.
another live session with you. Today was a very informative session, and we at Helios really thank you so much for joining us and giving this awesome session.
Thank
And
you so
for
much.
all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. Do follow Helios India. We do every Wednesday. We are doing live sessions on physiotherapy, and every Sunday we are doing live sessions on different topics related to our health. So thank you so much again, Pratisha, for joining us,
Thank you
and
so
see
much,
you guys
Saurabh.
next Sunday. All right,
Bye
bye.
bye.